So hey guys, I'm back and this is my last vlog before Vlogmas. So Vlogmas starts this weekend. So I thought I'd make this video, which has really two parts to it. The first is obviously we had some big news around these parts this past week. And if somehow you missed it, then Mike and I are engaged. Yay! So I thought I would discuss that and share the story of how we got engaged, since the video, if you haven't already seen it, I put up 2 videos from Georgia on the channel. And in the first video, you see the aftermath of us getting engaged and you see Brittany in shame, but you don't know really the details of how he proposed or why Brittany's so embarrassed. So I thought I'd share that story. And then part 2 of this video, we're going to discuss Vlogmas, and the infamous Mickey Santa hat is making a return. So I need questions from you guys. So I thought we'd discuss that and the plans for Vlogmas and all that good stuff. So let's chat, let's have a little story time and get to it. As most of you guys probably know, Mike and I have been together for quite a while. We have been together for over 5 years, and the first 2.5 or so years of that we were long distance, where I was living in either Orlando or Sarasota and he was living here in Houston. And then about 2.5 years into the relationship, we were at a point where long distance just wasn't cutting it anymore. It was getting tougher and tougher to be apart, and it came down to who was going to move, because we knew that this was serious. We knew pretty early on, or at least we thought we knew pretty early on, that this was it. But I think it's hard to know 100% when you haven't lived in the same space, as opposed to only seeing each other for a weekend a month. So now I've been living in Texas since May 2016. Lo and behold, our relationship has worked just as well as we thought it would, even when living together. So we always kind of knew we were going down this path, and I know a lot of questions were coming of like, when are you guys ever getting engaged? We were getting it from everywhere, not just comments here, but everyone in our personal lives were like, you know, when's this happening? It was one of those things where we knew it was going to happen eventually, just not quite when. So fast forward to October of this year, we are one of those couples who talks about everything together, pretty much. We don't really have any secrets. We talk about everything together. I knew that he was getting to the point of wanting to shop for rings, and he'd asked me to put together my Pinterest page of ideas of what I wanted for my ring. My thing was that I didn't really know what I wanted. I thought I knew what I wanted, but I requested that we go shopping together before he buy anything, because I didn't really know. And I'm not someone that wears much jewelry. You guys know I wear pretty much my Claddagh every single day, and I wear some sort of like stud earrings every single day. Every once in a while I'll add a necklace or a choker or dangly earrings, but pretty much every day it's stud earrings and my Claddagh, and that's it. And in theory, your engagement ring is something you're gonna wear every single day. So I wanted to make sure it was something that fit my personality and something that I was gonna feel comfortable wearing every day. So in October, we went shopping together, and it was supposed to just be window shopping. It was just supposed to be a try on, see what fit with my personality, and let him come back and choose the ring later. However, we got to the store that he had picked out. He'd done his research. He knew what store he wanted to go to. And we went to the store, and they happened to be having like a trunk show that day. So there was like a ton more rings than usual. All the actual representatives from those designers were there. They had alcoholic cocktails. They had a food spread. It was crazy. So I tried on a ton of rings. This one I think was one of the first few I tried on, and we both loved it. I tried on a bunch more rings, and I kept coming back to this one as the one I loved. So it's supposed to just be window shopping, but we both loved it and didn't think we were gonna find another ring that we loved possibly more than this one. So he went ahead and got it that day. So I was there for the shopping. I was there when he picked it out. We picked it out together. And so I did have an idea that a proposal was coming, because I knew he had the ring. I know some people go shopping together and others don't. I didn't think I would ever be that person to go shopping, and I do trust Mike's judgment, like he has good taste. I didn't know what I want, so I wasn't gonna be able to guide him to making a solid choice without me being there. It ended up working well, I think, because it took some of the pressure off of him. Like, he knew I was gonna love it, so when he proposed, he didn't have to worry about whether or not I was gonna like the ring. But again, we're a couple that like discusses everything together, so it wasn't out of the box for us to also choose the ring together. The proposal, however, was a complete surprise. I thought maybe there was a chance he would propose on this trip because my best friend and her husband were going to be there, so I thought maybe this would be a time he would want to do it. But the way he did it completely caught me off guard. I did not see it coming whatsoever, and I am a hard person to surprise. I am very intuitive on people's emotions and moods, and if you're just a little bit off, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? What's going on? I'm very sensitive to changes and shifts in people and can tell when someone's acting different. And I have to give props to Mike, Jordan, and Brittany because neither of them gave off anything that made me think anything suspicious was happening. So props to all three of them because they're all way too good of actors and now I don't trust any of you. Story time. It was our first full day at the cabin. The forecast had it as a rainy, drizzly, very cold day. So Brittany and I hadn't planned anything aside from just being in the cabin that day because we knew it was gonna be cozy cabin weather, not really hiking weather. Mike and I ended up getting to the cabin super late the night before. It was I think 9 o'clock before we got there, and then we ate dinner at like 10 o'clock. The plan we had discussed the night before was that Brittany, Jordan, and I would go to the grocery store on Thursday. Mike would stay back in the cabin with Miyu so she wouldn't be alone in a strange place. And all of that 100% made sense. In fact, I was the one that volunteered Mike. I was like, oh, Mike doesn't like going to the grocery store anyway. He'll stay with Miyu. And everyone's like, yeah. So I played right into it. We got up in the morning. Brittany, Jordan, and I rode off down the mountain to the grocery store, leaving Mike behind. So now while we were at the grocery store, I think we'd been gone maybe 45 minutes. I got a text from Mike like, hey, how's it going? And afterwards, that made sense to me. By the time I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, it's going good. We're doing this. What type of salad dressing do you want for your salad? And normal conversation that you have. So unbeknownst to me, he was messaging me because he'd been trying to message Brittany and Jordan to get a status update because while we were at the grocery store, Mike was back setting up for the proposal. So he had ordered all of the lights and letters that you saw and had them shipped to Brittany's house so I wouldn't see them. So Brittany and Jordan brought them up with them. So he had those with him. He had the ring box because he had the ring box, the TARDIS ring box, for the past 3 years. And I knew he'd had the ring box for 3 years. It had been in his closet. I only knew he had it because when I was moving in, I was unpacking my things into the closet and he thought I'd seen the box and I hadn't seen the box, but just from his reaction I was like, So I thought he already had the ring and everything. Turns out it was just the ring box. But so while we were gone, he set everything up as he wanted it, took pictures, and then took it all back down so I wouldn't possibly see it when we came back. Now this was set up on Brittany and Jordan's balcony, which was also part of the strategic plan because then I wouldn't see it, just in case he took it all back down, sent the picture to Brittany. Also while we were gone, he called my parents, told them what was happening, made sure it was okay with them, which obviously it was. So we checked that off the list. And then by the time we got back, obviously Brittany had given him a status update letting him know we were coming back. He was just nonchalantly sitting in the kitchen on his laptop like he'd been working while we were gone, and I was none the wiser. So we had our little picnic lunch of salad and like cheese and crackers. And then see in the vlog, Brittany and I go out by the river. We're out in the river. I'm filming up at the balcony. Apparently there was something still up there because Mike said he started like army crawling on the balcony to hide something else. I looked at the footage and you can't see anything else, so I don't know what he's talking about, but apparently I gave him a heart attack. We come back inside and we decide to play Mario Kart on Switch. Jordan, myself, and Mike are playing. Brittany's not playing, which again doesn't set anything off for me because Brittany's not a Nintendo person. She likes games, but she's never been a Nintendo person, so it didn't surprise me that she didn't want to play Mario Kart. So the three of us were playing and Brittany just kind of curled up in the chair and started napping, or so I thought. So we're playing, we're having a grand old time. She naps for probably 15 minutes or so and then gets up and goes upstairs. So again, no one has to say anything. I'm piecing this all together in my head. I'm like, oh, she's tired. She's gonna go take a nap upstairs. Totally makes sense. So we play Mario Kart for a while. At one point, Jordan even asked me, do you want to keep playing? And I said, well, I wouldn't keep playing if Brittany weren't napping, but since she's napping, I guess you can keep playing because I wouldn't want to exclude her. Little did I know that while we were playing Mario Kart and Brittany was napping, she was actually setting up the proposal again. So she had the picture from Mike and she set up everything. An hour's worth of Mario Kart goes by and Brittany comes downstairs and I'm like, oh, how was your nap? She's like, oh, it's good. And then she says, I have a birthday gift for you. And so I said, I have a birthday gift for you, because I had brought her the pushing unicorn onesie because her birthday's in October. So it's kind of a birthday Christmas gift. And she goes, no, me first. I was like, okay. So she said, okay, you have to come upstairs, but then when you come upstairs, you have to close your eyes. So I'm like, okay. Again, no red flags going off because Mike's been sitting next to me playing Mario Kart this whole time. He seemed completely normal all day. Everything was checking out as normal to me. So we walk upstairs, we get to the bedroom, she has me close my eyes and she walks me through the bedroom. As soon as we get to the bedroom, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's cold. Clearly the doors are open and Brittany's like, oh yeah, I was napping with the doors open because I wanted to hear the river. Again, this did not set anything off for me because the night before Brittany had said she was doing that. She said, yeah, we fell asleep napping with the doors open because I love the sound of the river. And that's true, she does. So I was like, yep, totally makes sense. You were napping with the door open, sure. She walked me all the way to the edge of the porch and got me in position, walked away from me, and when she walked away from me, she said, okay, open your eyes. And there was Mike standing in front of me. He had like pushed his way around her when she was walking me up. And he proposed. And at that point, then I finally knew what was happening. So there was the pictures and the marry me sign, which I actually didn't see the marry me sign until after he had proposed. I cried, and I'm not usually in the moment crier. I will cry for anyone else. I will, if I see someone else crying, I'll cry with them. If there's a happy moment on TV, I will cry. If there's a sad moment on TV, I will cry. If I'm angry, I will cry. If I'm emotional, I will cry. But surprised cry is not usually one of my things because usually I'm too overwhelmed by all the other experiences to get emotional. But I think because I was so surprised by it and really didn't see it coming, that when I opened my eyes and saw him, I just started crying. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. And I said yes, obviously. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. And then I saw everything behind him after he'd already proposed and I said yes. Then I saw, like, really took in everything that was behind him. I saw a few of you ask, why was Brittany in shame underneath the bed and in her cone of shame when the vlog picks up post-proposal? And that is because the string that the pictures were on were actually a string of lights, and he had the little LED candles around the marry me sign, and Brittany had turned all of those on, but she had forgotten to turn on the string of lights. So after the proposal and the moment's over and we've all hugged and we've all had like our sweet moment, Mike just goes over and goes click and turns on the lights, and Brittany's like, oh no. It was kind of this thing like, well, it would have been the perfect proposal if only those lights had been on. And Mike and Brittany love to rib each other, so that immediately became the new favorite joke. So she was immediately feeling shame. She did like a faceplant on the bed to start and was just like, no! I ran downstairs to get my camera, and when I was down there, she crawled under the bed and was like still in cone of shame. So that's why I was like, you had one job, Brittany. And she's like, no, I had a lot of jobs. I became the running joke of the weekend. Somehow it didn't end up in the vlogs at all. I didn't capture any of that, but it was a running joke, and I'm sure that's gonna stay a running inside joke with their friendship for the rest of time. Like, for instance, the next day, Mike was sitting at the kitchen table and was like, hey Brittany, can you get the light switch for me? And she goes over and turns it on. He's like, oh yeah, that's how that works. Obviously I was none the wiser. It was perfectly light outside, so it didn't really affect anything, and he's totally just teasing her. He's a troll, so she just gave him years worth of ammunition. Could not believe that he was able to be normal that entire afternoon. I asked him afterwards, I was like, is that why you were playing so terribly on Mario Kart? And he's like, no, I just really suck at that game. Jordan, perfect distraction with Mario Kart. Brittany, 100% Oscar-worthy acting skills with her nap and going upstairs and then coming down and being like, birthday gift, and totally selling it. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Even though I thought it might happen that weekend, I was thinking maybe like on the hike or something, so I didn't expect it on that just regular day at the cabin. I didn't even think about the fact that he could have set it up while we were at the grocery store. Nothing. So it was the perfect surprise. perfect proposal. We were thrilled. It was so fun to get to spend the rest of the weekend with Brittany and Jordan and have a great time all weekend post-proposal with my fiance. So yay! So that brings us to part 2 of this video, and that is Vlogmas is starting this weekend. So if you've been around for a while, you guys know I do Vlogmas a little differently than some other people, where I start filming on the 1st and my first video goes up on the 2nd. So instead of being like an advent calendar where you get content from the 1st through the 24th, I film the 1st through the 25th, but you get content the 2nd through the 26th. Does that make sense? So the first vlog is going up December 2nd, but you will get to follow along our full journey from December 1st all the way through Christmas Day. So if you've been around for the last 2 years, then you know one of the traditions we have here on my channel for Vlogmas is the Mickey Santa hat. So this is where you guys come in. The Mickey Santa hat is my way of doing a little Q&A through Vlogmas. So you guys send me questions, I print them off, I put them in a hat, and I pull 1, maybe 2 out of the hat each day of Vlogmas and answer your questions. It allows us to have a conversation back and forth through the comments, and it's been really fun the past 2 years. I think everyone has really enjoyed it. So we're bringing it back again. So the questions can be personal, Christmas related, theme park related, life related, travel, whatever you guys want to ask, go ahead and ask. I will go ahead and answer this question. So I'm feeling it's going to be a popular one based on the rest of this video, and that is, we do not have a wedding date picked yet, nor do I think we will have one before the end of the holidays. So just answering that one. So far, we don't know when we're getting married yet. So otherwise, feel free to ask whatever you would like. It can be about us, it can be about the dogs, whatever you want. And it will be a fun activity we have in every Vlogmas vlog. So otherwise, we have some other Vlogmas traditions that will be making a return. We have some very different advent calendars in the past few years, so I'm excited to kick those off. We've already got some fun Christmas activities planned around Houston. I just love Vlogmas time. I think it's so much fun. So if you're planning to participate in Vlogmas, let me know in the comments down below so I can watch your Vlogmas as well. And I hope everyone's excited for daily vlogs on this channel for most of the month of December. That's gonna wrap things up for today. Thank you everyone for all of your amazing comments on Instagram, Twitter, the previous vlogs, giving us congratulations for the engagement. We really felt the love that day, and it's awesome that so many of you have been so supportive of not only my channel, but us as a couple, us as dog parents. You guys are just the kindest, most supportive people. We feel very fortunate for that, but we really couldn't have asked for a more welcoming, loving, wonderful response to that post. So thank you, and I will see you guys on Sunday for the first Vlogmas. Bye. Leave me questions. Bye.